Fabio Quartararo's frustration continues to echo across the Yamaha garage. Once again, the Frenchman secured pole position, this time at the Australian Grand Prix, only to watch another chance at victory slip away on race day. It's a familiar story that's been haunting Yamaha for the past few seasons. Could the long-awaited V4 project finally be the key to breaking free from this cycle of disappointment? For nearly 4 years, Yamaha's traditional inline-4 engine philosophy has been under heavy scrutiny, while their rivals, Ducati, KTM, Honda and Aprilia, have fully embraced V4 technology. Yamaha has remained loyal to their signature layout. Now, however, the tide seems to be turning. The new V4 prototype has already been tested several times by development rider Augusto Fernandez, with Quartararo himself also getting a first taste of the machine. Yet, despite the anticipation, Quartararo was not impressed. His early feedback highlighted a list of issues to address, ranging from throttle response to corner exit stability. His words were precise but carried an undertone of disappointment. For a rider desperate to fight at the front again, potential is no longer enough. Enter Silvano Galbusera, the veteran engineer who once guided Valentino Rossi during his golden years at Yamaha. Galbusera now leads the charge in analysing Quartararo's feedback and reshaping the V4's development strategy. His task is monumental: to deliver a competitive package capable of restoring Yamaha's former glory. The next critical checkpoint comes this weekend at the Malaysian Grand Prix in Sepang, where Fernandez will once again enter as a wild card to continue real race data collection. It will be the second time Yamaha's V4 competes in an official race setting, a rare opportunity to validate its progress under pressure. But the push doesn't end there. Galbusera has lined up an intensive follow-up test at Aragon on November 9th to 10, where both he and Fernandez will evaluate the post-Sepang upgrades. Their ultimate goal to prepare 4 fully tuned Yamaha M1 V4 machines for the official Valencia test on November 18th. That's where the real excitement begins. Those 4 bikes will be shared among Yamaha's confirmed 2026 riders: Fabio Quartararo, Alex Rins, and the newly signed Pramac Yamaha duo of Jack Miller and Toprak Razgatlioglu. For Razgatlioglu, fresh off his 2025 World Superbike Championship title with BMW, Valencia will mark his long-awaited MotoGP debut. The Turkish sensation replaces Miguel Oliveira at Pramac Yamaha, ironically the very rider who will take over Razgatlioglu's former WSBK seat at BMW. It's a straight swap that has the paddock buzzing. Despite his switch to new surroundings, Toprak's transition back to Yamaha power shouldn't be too daunting. After all, he knows the brand's DNA intimately from his previous WSBK years with the Japanese marque. His aggressive braking style and spectacular corner entries could provide Yamaha with valuable feedback on how the V4 behaves at the limit, something the team desperately needs. Still, Yamaha's leadership remains cautious. As Paolo Pavesio, Yamaha's motorsport director, recently emphasized, the V4 will only be adopted if it clearly outperforms the current inline-4 package. That means every test, every lap, and every data point will matter. At this stage, Yamaha is the only manufacturer still holding onto the inline-4 architecture in MotoGP. Whether that represents loyalty or stubbornness depends on the outcome of this V4 experiment. The next few weeks could define the brand's future, either marking the rebirth of a legend or confirming a continued struggle to keep pace with their V4-powered rivals. From a journalist's perspective, Yamaha's decision to accelerate its V4 program signals both desperation and ambition. The pressure from within the paddock is immense. Quartararo's growing frustration mirrors what many insiders have been whispering for years. Yamaha's engineering philosophy has fallen behind the curve. Silvano Galbusera's involvement is a masterstroke. His technical intuition and calm leadership could be exactly what Yamaha needs to avoid the pitfalls of rushing development. Yet the challenge is steep. Creating a competitive V4 from scratch isn't merely an engine swap. It's a complete redefinition of how Yamaha builds, tunes, and rides its MotoGP machines. For Razgatlioglu, this is a golden chance to prove he belongs among the elite. His fearless style and natural aggression could expose both the strengths and weaknesses of the new Yamaha. If he adapts quickly, he might even push Quartararo and Rins to rethink their approach to the evolving M1. In essence, the Valencia test may be the most critical Yamaha moment in a decade. It's not just about performance, it's about identity. Can Yamaha reinvent itself while staying true to the soul of the M1? The answer, as always in MotoGP, will be written on the stopwatch. Beyond the technical side, Yamaha's V4 project also represents a philosophical shift for the factory. For decades, the inline-4 has been at the heart of its racing identity, a smooth, balanced power delivery that suited riders who prioritized corner speed over brute acceleration. But in the current MotoGP landscape, where explosive power and stability under braking dominate, Yamaha's once golden formula now feels outdated. The V4 isn't just a new engine, it's a new mindset. Inside the paddock, rivals are watching with quiet curiosity. Ducati's engineers, who perfected the V4 concept, reportedly see Yamaha's effort as 4 years too late, yet they also understand that Yamaha rarely acts without purpose. If the Japanese brand can combine its legendary chassis feel with a more aggressive V4 punch, it might rediscover the balance that made the M1 such a weapon in the Rossi-Lorenzo era. Meanwhile, Fabio Quartararo finds himself at a crossroads in his career. Still one of the most naturally gifted riders on the grid, he's growing weary of explaining why Yamaha can't keep up on the straights. His decision to extend his contract was built on faith in this V4 project. And should it fail, that faith could fade quickly. For Quartararo, Sepang and Valencia aren't just tests for a bike, they're tests for the future of his partnership with Yamaha. Alex Rins, on the other hand, is quietly optimistic. Having ridden both inline-4 and V4 engines during his time at Suzuki and Honda, he brings valuable comparative knowledge. Rins has hinted that Yamaha's V4 feels smoother than expected, though he also warned that acceleration and rear grip must be addressed before the bike can realistically challenge Ducati or Aprilia. His feedback will be crucial in shaping the final engine character before homologation deadlines hit. As for Jack Miller, his arrival from KTM adds a new flavour of aggression to Yamaha's roster. Miller's riding style, late braking, heavy throttle use and physical bike control mirrors the qualities Yamaha hopes to extract from its V4. His presence could help push development toward a more European style of racing, contrasting with the traditionally fluid approach favoured by Japanese engineers.